Hello everybody and welcome back to Advanced Maths. Today we're looking at the volume and surface area of spheres, cones, pyramids and frustums. Okay, so let's start with spheres. This is a sphere here, just like a ball, and the surface area is given by 4 pi r squared, where r is just the radius of the sphere. The volume is given by 4/3 pi r cubed. These formulas are normally given to you in the exam, but they're still nice to know anyway. So let's look at an example with the radius being 6 centimeters. I'm going to substitute 6 in as the radius, like this. Okay, and we're going to do this calculation. 4/3 pi times 6 cubed. 6 cubed is 216, so it's 4/3 times 216 times pi. And 4/3 times 216 is 288. Times pi. And sometimes in exams you will be asked to write this in terms of pi, where it's just a number times pi, 288 times pi. Because actually, quite often this is simpler and more accurate than writing it as a decimal. So if the question asks in terms of pi, you write it like this. Similarly, if you work out 4 times 6 squared times pi, it's 144 times pi, it is the same thing. But if you prefer this as a decimal, you can write it like this, but you would normally round it to the nearest whole number. And remember the correct units. The units for area are centimetres squared, and the area for volume is centimetres cubed. Okay, now let's look at the volume of a pyramid. So the volume of a pyramid is given by 1/3 times the base times the height. If you were to work out the surface area of a pyramid, you would look at the net of the pyramid, but that would be quite rare in exams. So the height is just how tall the pyramid is, and the base is the area of the base, which, if it's a square, it would be the length times the width. A triangular base pyramid, like this, would have a height going straight up, and again the base area would be given by the triangle. To work out the triangle, it will be the length and the width divided by 2. The width times the length divided by 2. So with all of these, you work out the area of the base, and then you multiply it by the height, and then you times it by 1/3. For a cone, it's very similar to a pyramid, and you're given the radius, given the height, and you're given the slanted length of the cone. Okay, the surface area is given by pi r squared plus pi rl. And the volume is given by 1/3 times pi times r squared h. Okay, with the surface area, just pointing out that the pi r squared is the area of the circle on the bottom. The pi rl is the curved surface of the cone. And if you add those together, is the total surface area of the cone. Okay, so let's look at an example of that. We've got the height of 12, radius of 9, and a slant length of 15. I'm going to substitute those numbers in to the equations. And if you work that out, you can work that out yourself in your own time. You will get 216 pi centimetres squared and 324 pi centimetres cubed. I encourage you to really work that out yourself if you want to. If you wrote that as a decimal, so you use the calculator to work that out as a decimal, you get these numbers here, which you can round to the nearest whole number. Okay, now our next shape is called a frustum, which is what you get, frustum, which is what you get when you have a big cone and you cut off a cone from the top. So you've got a big cone and you subtract a smaller cone and you get a frustum. A frustum looks like this on the right hand side here. It's a big cone with a small cone cut off the top. So example, a frustum is made by removing a small cone from a large cone. Find the volume of the frustum. So we do this by finding the volume of the big cone and then finding the volume of a small cone and subtracting them. Okay, the volume of the big cone will be given by a radius of 12 and a height of 30. The smaller cone will have a radius of 4, not 8, 4, because 8 is a diameter, 4 is a radius, and a height of 10. Okay, we're going to substitute those numbers into the big cone, like this. And if you work this out, you'll get a volume of 1,440 pi centimeters cubed. Similarly, for the area of the smaller cone, we substitute the numbers in. The radius is 4, the height is 10, and we will get 160 over 3 times pi centimeters cubed. To work out the area of the frustum, so the volume of the frustum, it's the volume of the big minus the volume of the small, and we can substitute those in. 1,440 pi minus 160 over 3 pi. And again, if you work that out, you can use the calculator for this for GCSE. You would get 4,160 over 3 pi, which is the same as this if you round it as a decimal. So as I say, just round it, put it into the calculator to work it out as a decimal, and then round it at the end. Okay? You might want to try that question yourself by pausing the video now and just making sure you get the same answers as I do. Now here are some practice questions for you to try. We've got a pyramid, a hemisphere and a rocket. So here the pyramid is a square-based pyramid. I want you to work out the volume. For the hemisphere, a hemisphere is just half of a sphere. So it's like you're cutting a sphere in half. I want you to work out the volume of the sphere and the hemisphere surface area. To do that, you need to work out the area of a circle on the hemisphere and then the curved surface area of the sphere, which you can do in your own time. And then the rocket is made from a cone and a cylinder stuck together. And I want you to, for the volume, you'll have to work out the volume of the cylinder and the volume of the cone and add them together. For the surface area of the rocket, it's a bit trickier. Think about the circle on the bottom, the curved rectangle around the outside of the cylinder, and then the curved surface area of the cone on top. And you need to add those together to find the surface area of the rocket. I want you to, for the ones that involve pi, I want you to give your answers in terms of pi, and I want you to give it to the nearest whole number. Okay? So pause the video now. Those are some excellent questions for you to try and see if you get the right answer. I'll reveal the answers in 3, 2, 1. Okay, did you get it correct? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching this week's video from Advanced Maths. We have plenty more videos coming every week. So please remember to like and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. Thanks for watching, guys, and good luck in your exams.